Welcome to Breakfast with Spaniels with Dr. Judy Morgan.
Breakfast in the afternoon. I'm gonna drown out cats that are playing. They're everywhere. One of these days I'll get my office back. Not sure why. This is a look you get after gardening, eating, mowing lawns, dust bowl. It's hot, I'm sweating. You're an adventure cat on a raw diet? Yay! That's what I call our little Gigi, right girl? She's Gigi the adventure cat. She's a feisty little bugger. I come in the room and she literally crawls all the way up to my shoulders. But she's on a raw diet.
Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
So, for those of you who attended the summit this weekend, this is your homework. During this live or after we sign off, whenever you watch it, I want to know two things. What was your favorite presentation this weekend? And what's one new thing that you learned? It literally blew me away. I learned so much. Proves you're never too old to learn, even when you're a dinosaur like me. And Gwen found a lot of the people that presented this weekend, and I had never interviewed them before. Some of them I had heard their names, but didn't know much about them. And it was amazing. I think I made some lifelong friends. We definitely have people that we want to do, we want to collaborate on more courses, more webinars, more events. Because this group, every summit I say is good, but they just seem to give me a cat leash. Literally, this morning I came in here and fed them and cleaned up, and it was like Catapalooza. They were all, it's just loud when they all get going. And then I was really trying to work, and everybody took a nap. It was wonderful. And then I brought in lunch, and everybody woke up, and then they took a nap, and now it's crazy time again. Psst, psst. So that is Domino over there at the door. She literally is grabbing onto the bottom of the door because she wants to go out into the rest of the house. The problem is, Forrest is a fool, and he gets right in the cat's faces, and then they slap the crap out of him, and I'm afraid he's going to lose an eyeball. So, learned so much on all the sessions. Can't wait to buy and watch them all. Yeah, so this time we are offering the sessions for $29 for all 9, which is only $3.22 a session. Hey, Gwen and I were both like, I'd pay $29 for every single one of them. Like, I would pay that much for all of it. It was amazing. So, just to refresh your memory, on Friday night, we did cooking in the kitchen with Gwen and I, and anybody who signed up, they are going to get the 7 recipes as a free download in your inbox. So if you were signed up ahead of time, you are going to get the free recipes. So, and Gwen decided that after half of a martini, so you're welcome. But we had fun, and our dogs, I rarely give them treats, and I'm like throwing them out 3-4 times a day because they're sitting on the counter now. I'm like, I gotta use these things up. So that was really fun. Some people said by Saturday morning they had already made some of the recipes, and their animals were very happy as well. And then we started off with Dr. Connor Brady, which a lot of people know Dr. Connor. His seemed to be the most popular session, but he talked about behavior and diet and how they're related, really from a scientific basis. And it was funny because he doesn't know a whole lot about traditional Chinese veterinary medicine, so I always talk about things like liver qi stagnation and wood personalities and metal personalities being bossy and that sort of thing. And he said, cool, I need to learn more about that. But he was talking about it from like a mineral standpoint, tryptophan, like the amino acids and the minerals and things and how they combine. And if we don't have those things in the diet, we can get a lot of behavior issues. So really cool. And let's see, we did, on Sunday morning, we did with Naturally Cats with Julianne Thorne. We did environmental enrichment for kitty cats, whether they're indoor or outdoor kitties, which was great because I took it to heart and said, oh, I'm really bad. Like, I'm one of those people, like, here, go fetch the ball, leave me alone. And these kittens are not having any parts of that. These kittens are like, oh, no, we're interacting. Like, you better be petting, you better be actively playing. It is none of this, like, pitch something over there and have us go play with it. We're not going to do it. So that was really fun. And I feel a little guilty because, but I have like 1 million cats. I only have 14 at the moment. I'm hoping some of these go live somewhere else, but they really like human interaction and they really want a lot of people around them. So one of my favorite ones with Perfectly Holistic was muscle testing and kinesiology, which I've done off and on over the years. I've done dowsing, I've done muscle testing. Jack Canfield, who's one of my mentors, he's the Chicken Soup for the Soul book guy. He does muscle testing and talks about muscle testing and setting intentions and all that kind of stuff all the time. And it's just so easy to not do it and to overlook it. But she was great. Pam showed us how you can do it. Like, my favorite was the sway test. I think my favorite thing all weekend was the sway test because I stood up and did it when she said, do the sway test. And, one direction is yes, and the other direction is no. And it was very simple. We did it with just, my name is Judy, my name is Fred, whatever. You give a positive and a negative. And it was so interesting. And so I've been having problems this weekend with Stewie and Forrest with eating. So I took a bunch of things out of the refrigerator and I actually did the muscle testing. I did the sway test on what they wanted to eat last night, what was going to agree with them, and it worked beautifully. I was like, why don't I do it? Like, I know this stuff, why don't I do it? So that was just really, really cool. Interestingly, I tested it on Hugh, and I had him say his name, and then I had him say what wasn't his name, and he swayed the opposite direction of how he should. So either he's just really a backwards person, or his name really is Fred. So we are now calling you Fred. Let's see. We also talked about, we learned how to make tinctures, herbal tinctures. And we learned the difference between glycerin and oil and, vinegar and alcohol tinctures. And that was so amazing because I've never made my own tinctures. And now I feel like just with that one simple session, I could make herbal tinctures for my pets, and I could combine things and pick and choose, and instead of having to give like 7 different supplements, I can make a tincture with all of them in there the way that I want them to be. So that was really, really cool. I hope we collaborate more in the kitchen doing martinis, of course. Hair analysis, Ava Frick. Oh my gosh, I get hair analysis tests in my inbox all the time. I don't know what they mean. I don't know how to interpret them. Ava Frick was amazing. She's been studying them since the 1990s. She did a research project with, I think it was something like 568 hair analysis tests that she did and looked at them. And she actually came up with algorithms. And so she has a new product out, something pup. When we'll send it out. But it was the product just came out for this new hair analysis test, just came out this month. But it was so cool now that I know how to interpret it, because it's like, and interestingly, 94% of the dogs that she studied had inflammatory disease, and their metals that were tested in, their minerals that were tested in the hair analysis, 94% of them followed the same pattern, which was chronic inflammatory disease. And then she told us kind of what to do with that, and that was really cool, really, really cool. Let's see, last night our closing session was the Nutrivore diet with Hannah Zuleta. That was really cool too, because she's just very down to earth, and she basically did her research trying to figure out how to heal her dogs with allergies and yeast problems, and just very, very practical information. So she was great. Judy Jasek with Ozone, talking about all the different things she's used it for. She does a ton of, she does a lot of telemedicine, but a ton of cancer cases. I think she's out in Colorado. And so that was amazing too, talking about all the different uses for ozone. We did the O3 Vets webinar maybe 6 weeks ago with Jonathan Lowe, I believe, from O3 Vets. And so that was kind of our intro to it. But then when she talked about how she's actually using it in practice, was pretty amazing. And some of the case studies that she showed were just kind of blew me away. Mast cell tumors that just disappeared by using ozone. I mean, clearly it's not just one thing, because she was changing diet, using herbs, but the ozone, and I've had ozone injections, it's really, really cool. And then we had our human diet session and sustainability, which I think we were a little tricky for her, because she's really more towards saving the planet by using more plant-based in our diets, which is very healthy for people, but it's not healthy for our pets to be on a plant-based diet. And I loved her because she actually tuned in to Connor Brady's session first thing in the morning before she had her session. So when we were behind the scenes before we started, she said, clearly what I teach for people is not going to work for the animals. And I really appreciated that she got that and understood that. And then we talked about how, we can eat meat in a more sustainable manner, rather than factory farming and methane and destroying our environment. So that was really, really cool. Let's see, did I not touch on any? I think that was everything. So it was the coolest weekend. Like, I'm just so jazzed. I used to tell people, don't even bother with the hair analysis. It's a bunch of crap. Like, it doesn't tell us anything. I don't know what to do with it if we get it. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, now I understand how to read it, and there's actually stuff we can do about it. How cool is that? How cool is that? And the muscle testing, it's so simple to do. Like, literally every one of us can do, unless you're Hugh and you're backwards and then your name is now Fred. Yeah, Connor Brady, he's just amazing. All right, so let's see. Your new fave was the sway test. Yeah, that was really, really cool. Getting into learning more energy work with animals, getting to law of attraction. Yeah, the law of attraction is really cool. Only recently started applying it to animals. Like, duh, this makes total sense. Yeah, and that was one of the things I was trying to get across with that last session in the Detox Summit with Odette Suter and Bernie Sands and Dee Blanco was, if all we ever picture is our animals being sick, they can't get healthy because all we ever do is picture them being sick or having yeast or having inflamed bowels or having allergies. It's like we need to picture them healthy, attract good health instead of attracting illness. You're getting the turmeric to make it. Yeah, the tinctures. That was so cool. Gwen will be sending out an email. I'm sure it'll be in the Friday 5, and then they'll be posted on Dr. Judy U. Literally, it's 9 sessions. We're charging $29 for it. It's $3.22 a session. $3 to listen to Connor Brady. Seriously. So they were all really good. So yeah, you'll get an email later this week. We'll post it on social media. It'll go out in the Friday 5. You'll get an email. So yeah, and Gwen was great this weekend. And let me tell you, it was challenging because we didn't have childcare for Sarah for most of the weekend. So the 21-month-old had a few meltdowns because mommy was busy working and grandma was busy working, and that wasn't what grandma and mommy should be doing. So it was a little bit challenging, but Gwen was still really good about getting reminders out of every single session beforehand and sending reminders out through the email. So it was really good. Applied kinesiology for 30 years and learned things from the presentation, and you didn't know the sway method. Yeah, isn't that cool? Like, you've been doing something forever and you're like, oh, duh, that was so simple. No, that's all of our cats running around meowing, screaming, doing cat stuff. I'm in a room with 10 cats. It's a little crazy. Let's see. You rarely read your email. You should read your email. You trapped a mama and 4 kittens. Well, that was worthwhile doing. Hair analysis, yeah, that was really amazing. Yes, he was very special, Debbie. It's a bargain. The format that they'll be delivered, it'll just be to your email, and they'll just be videos that you can watch. So you don't have to sign in to Zoom or do any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, Gwen does rock. Gwen is amazing. You need a martini and cooking show every Friday. Well, maybe Gwen and I will start something for supporters. But this past Friday, she did have a babysitter, which was her dad, for Sarah. So I think cooking live in the kitchen with alcohol and Sarah, you all might get more than you bargained for. So anyway, just post. There's Domino. She's the one making all the noise because it's just about cat meal number 3 out of 4 time. They're always these cats. I can't believe how much they're eating raw, and I cannot believe how much these cats eat. The cats eat way more than my dogs, way more. Yeah, there was a lot of work that goes into the summit, but we enjoy them, and I enjoy them so much because I learn so much. Oh my gosh, and I meet new people that I haven't necessarily done a lot with, and I get to reconnect with people that I have done stuff with. So it's just really fun. It is really fun, and Gwen just does a really good job. It literally takes the next 6 months to put the next one together. So, and this is just doing it online. Imagine being Lori Koger and doing the Healthy Dog Expo with people coming in, and you've got to rent the space and get your vendors and your sponsors. It's a lot of work. But we do it because we love it, and we love getting the information out to people. And as many of my colleagues stated this weekend, either behind the scenes or when we were live, there's going to be a veterinary shortage. There already is. And the more knowledge that we can place in your hands, the more things that we show you how to do, the easier it's going to be for you to care for your pets. And our goal, I forget which one of them it says, maybe it was Dr. Connor Brady, who said, I've spent a lot of time keeping dogs out of your office, which I really appreciate because I don't have an office anymore. So anything we can do to keep our pets healthy and keep them out of the emergency room and out of the veterinary clinic, I think is really critical. So let us know what you like the best, who you'd like to see back again.
Welcome to Breakfast with Spaniels with Dr. Judy Morgan.
Let us know who you'd like to see again, topics you'd like to hear. I do know, through the grapevine, in November we will be heading up a nutrition summit with probably 20 to 30 experts. So the next summit, well, we have a horse summit coming up in June, but our November summit that we normally do, that would be very similar to the one we just did, is instead going to be more the format like Dr. Seeger's Detox Summit just was, except that it's nutrition. We were chosen, lucky us, to head the nutrition summit. We were asked about 6 months ago, and we said no, the war's down. So we did the nutrition summit, so let us know who you'd like to hear from. Yeah, Dr. Seeger for sure. I have a list of experts. It's way too long. Dwayne told me I can't have that many. So we'll figure it out. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon. We are expecting thunderstorms.
Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at
trying to use the mouse on my phone.
www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Okay, the show's over, but whatever. See you guys. You can't work 2 things at once.